In this video, we're going to take a look at some basic editing and formatting commands. First thing we're going to look at is just selecting text. Let's drag the mouse over the first paragraph here. If you want to delete it, just hit the delete key. And so I just hit the delete key there, and now it's gone. And if I want to bring it back, I've got an undo button up here. And I can also do the keyboard shortcut, which I prefer, which is Control-Z. And I brought it back. There is also two keys on the keyboard that allow you to delete text, and one is the backspace key and one is the delete key, and they're similar but they're not identical. I'm going to place the cursor here right in the middle of Marley's name, and backspace deletes to the left. So if I hit backspace once, I delete the R, and if I hit it again, I delete the A. And delete deletes to the right, so if I hit it once, I delete the L, and then I delete the E. And that's the difference between the two. It's pretty simple. Let's bring back the characters that I deleted. Do Control-Z a few times here, and now we're back to where we were before. There are also three real common keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to select the first paragraph again here by dragging the mouse over it, and when I do, I'm going to cut that out. And the keyboard shortcut for cut is Control-X, and the way you can remember that is X kind of looks like a scissors. So when you cut something out, I'm going to do Control-X right now. It deletes it, and it copies it to the clipboard. So it's on the clipboard, and now if I try to paste something in, I'm going to do a Control-V, which is the keyboard shortcut for paste. It takes it off of the clipboard and puts it into your document. And when I say takes it off of the clipboard, it doesn't remove it from the clipboard. It will stay on there until something else replaces it on the clipboard. So if I did Control-V again and again, I would get the same thing copied from the clipboard 3 times. I'm going to do a Control-Z twice to get rid of those extra 2 that are there. Also, when I pasted those in, I was at the beginning of this paragraph, which is not the same as being at the end of the previous paragraph. If I click on the end of this line here, I can't get on the other side of the paragraph mark. I have to stay on the left side of it. And if I do a Control-V right there, then I'm in front of the paragraph mark, and this paragraph that I just had copied to the clipboard now gets pasted in along with its paragraph mark. And this is the paragraph mark that was there before, that was actually right after this occurrence of the word doornail up here. So if you want to be part of the previous paragraph, you need to click on the end of that paragraph. If you want it to be a brand new paragraph, you need to click on the beginning of the next paragraph that you want it to proceed. So I'm going to undo this one as well, do a Control-Z here, and now I'm back to where I was before. The other keyboard shortcut is the copy command, which is Control-C, and it's just like the cut command, except it leaves the text in the document as well as copying it to the clipboard. The cut command deletes it from the document and copies it to the clipboard. So I'm going to do Control-C here. You don't see any change in your document, but if I go here and click in front of the word mind and do a Control-V, this text was just copied to the clipboard. Let's grab another one here, and just to show you that the clipboard is actually changing, and do a Control-C. And now let's go down to the beginning of the next paragraph and do a Control-V, and we get another copy of this paragraph. So Control-X looks like a scissors, Control-C stands for copy, and Control-V kind of looks like a wedge or a caret symbol. And so if you kind of imagine that as being, I select a place right here in my document that I want to stick it in. If you were indicating on a piece of paper that you want to insert something there, you'd probably insert a little caret symbol there that kind of looks like a V. So that's a way to remember Control-X and Control-C and Control-V. And Control-Z is the undo command. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to undo that. And now I'm back to where I was originally. Okay, there's another really handy formatting command. And let's, before we show you this, let's take a look at this paragraph right here. And we're going to make some changes to it. I'm going to change it to bold, italic, and underline. I'm going to increase the margin on the left a little bit. I'm going to increase the margin on the right a little bit. I'm going to change the color of that to something that's obviously different, like red. So I've applied about 6 formatting commands. Let's do a few more. Let's change the font to Verdana, and let's change the font size to 11 instead of 12. So now I've done over half a dozen formatting commands. And if I want something else to look the same way, I don't want to really do all those commands all over again, and that's what the Format Painter is for. This is on the Home tab on the left side over here in the clipboard group, and you don't have to actually select text, you just have to be in the text that you want to copy the format of. So I'm going to be in this paragraph right here. Now I'm going to click on the Format Painter, and it turns my cursor into a paint brush. And when it turns into a paint brush, I can drag it over some text. I'm going to drag it over this text right here, and it automatically gets every single formatting characteristic from what I had when I clicked on the Format Painter in the first place. So you can think of this as being my paint. When I click on the Format Painter brush, I'm dipping the brush into the paint, and then I'm painting it over some new text. There's another version of that. Let's leave the cursor up here again. And this time I'm going to double click on the Format Painter. And now I can go and I can drag the mouse over some stuff down here. We'll do entire paragraphs at a time because it does change the margins. And it still stays, because I double clicked, I still keep the brush. And I'm going to drag over another paragraph. Whoops, I missed the first part of that paragraph there. And I can keep on doing that as long as I want to. And when I'm done, I can do one of two things. I can go back up here and click on the Format Painter button to turn it off, or I think the easy way to do it is just leave the mouse where it is and hit the Escape key, which I just did, and now I get my I-beam cursor back again. You can also drag and drop, as you can in most applications in Windows. So if I want to move that paragraph, just click and drag it up here in front of this one, and I got an extra space in there somehow. I'm just going to delete that. So drag and drop is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. And the last thing we're going to look at is a Find and Replace command. I'm going to do a Control Home to move to the top of my document here, which is a title page. And actually, then I'm going to go down to the first page of the actual story here. And we're going to do Find and Replace. And these are also over here on the right side of the Home tab. In the editing group, we've got Find, we've got Replace, and select. I'm going to click on Find. And the keyboard shortcut for that, by the way, is Control F, which works in lots and lots of Windows applications. And now it's asking me to fill in what I want to look for. And I'm going to look for the word Scrooge. I know that occurs in there a whole bunch of times, so I'm going to type in Scrooge. And it comes back and tells me it occurs 127 times. And it will highlight it for me. And if I click on the little up arrow or down arrow here, it will move me from one occurrence to the next and move me gradually through the document till I find the one that I'm looking for. There is also the option of doing a Replace command, and let's do Replace. And you see there's a keyboard shortcut there. Control H is the keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to do a Replace command here. And we get the Find and Replace dialog box, and it says, what do you want to look for? And because I just did a search for Scrooge, that's already there. And I'm going to replace it with my last name. And then I'm just going to do Replace All. I mean, I could find the next one and just do Replace one at a time, but I'm going to do Replace All. And it should tell me, okay, it made 114 replacements, and I'm not at the top of the document. I know there was 127 occurrences, so there must be 13 more. So let's click on Yes, and it'll go back to the beginning of the document. And it made 127 replacements. Click on OK, and click on Close. And now if I go back to my navigation window over here and tell it I want to look for Scrooge, I get no matches. Now, so they're all gone. They've all been replaced by my last name. So now I'm going to put my last name in there and pause a second, and it tells me there are 127 occurrences of Klain. It replaced all 127 versions of Scrooge. And I don't want my name in there. I want to go back to where I was before. So one undo will undo all 127 of those changes. There is also, over here, there's an advanced find, but we'll take a look at that in some other video some other time.